Hello there, Taurus. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly video forecast for the week of January 5th through the 11th. And I am using my Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg once again. The first card that we have for you guys, Taurus, is on Monday. We have the Four of Clubs in reverse. Now this card really symbolizes somebody leaving the nest. So when I talk about somebody leaving the nest, I've seen this card come up a couple of different ways. This can come up in relationship as a breakup or a split up. Not always permanent, sometimes just temporary. Still a breakup or a split up. Or this can come up in a family situation as somebody moving out of mom and dad's house, somebody going off to college, somebody going away for a military assignment. So somebody that is going away. I've also had this actually come up for somebody who was retiring from an office, or for somebody that maybe gets transferred to a different branch. This could come up. So this card really talks about, Taurus, somebody moving out of the nest. That's how I think of this card. So I'm feeling like there's a very small percentage of you that this is going to actually apply to for work, maybe 10% or less. We've got maybe like 20% of you. I'm seeing this as actually a relationship situation where you're kind of breaking things off or ending things with other people. And out of those people, the majority of you, I see this actually coming up with friends more than with any kind of romantic partner. And then the rest of it I really see as some kind of family situation for the majority of you. Somebody coming out of the nest in the family. Okay. All right. So Tuesday, what we have coming up is we have the Seven of Cups coming up in reverse. Now, when the Seven of Cups comes up upright, it really talks about daydreaming or pipe dreaming, kind of looking at all these options that are not really based in reality. Now, what I see it as, whenever I see it coming in reversed, the Seven of Cups really talks to me about brainstorming. This is a little bit more productive way of looking at all your options. Instead of just daydreaming and pipe dreaming, we're doing brainstorming. We're looking at different options that possibly could happen. And also, this is much more based in reality. So this is really examining some options that you have. So this can, because it is cups, it is emotions, this can apply to relationships. I've also seen it a lot of times apply to work situations, and sometimes even to where people work. They may be looking at other opportunities of where they want to work. So there's a lot of different ways that this can play into your life. But basically what you have here is you're looking at what are my very real opportunities that I can actually approach in life to change a situation that I have right now. So that's what I see you guys going through on Tuesday. I feel like for a lot of you this does have to do with work situations, not so much changing where you work, but some kind of situation at work. You're looking at options of how can I make this better. Okay, for a few of you, this is looking at family situations. What can I do to make the situation with my family better? What is going to ease some tension for the family? That type of thing. But like I said, for the majority of you, I do feel like it's work situations. All right, so Wednesday, we have the Eight of Coins coming up in reverse. Eight of Coins in reverse. Okay, first of all, the Eight of Coins talks about work. And for me, what you need to know about work is work can be the place where you make your money, or it can be what we do to improve our character. Okay, so we could be looking at either one of these things, and I have a feeling for some of you it will manifest one way, for some of you it will manifest another. For some of you, you're going to be playing hooky on Wednesday. That's basically what it means, not working on Wednesday. Or you're going to be going to work, and you're going to be too distracted to actually work at work. So not much is getting accomplished on Wednesday, Taurus, for you guys as far as work-wise, for those of you who it comes in that way. Okay. Now, for those of you who it comes in the other way as the things to do to improve your character, what I'm feeling like is on Wednesday, there are some things that you have decided that you want to improve about your character, and you have been making strides towards improving those things lately. Now on Wednesday, I feel like you're just going to kind of get lazy. You're just going to kind of sit down on the job. You're going to decide, I'm really feeling this overwhelming feeling of, this is too much, this is too hard, I bit off more than I can chew, I can't do this. This whole poor me thing is coming in here on Wednesday. And you guys are going to decide, you know what, I'm just going to be with my old character. Maybe I wasn't the greatest person, but I could do it. So I'm happy to report that for most of you, what I'm feeling like is this is very much a temporary thing. This is kind of a pity party that makes you shut down. And it looks like to me, most of you are going to be getting a reality check that reminds you, oh, yeah, that's why I was working on making this change. Because you're going to see some of the taste of the old stuff that you used to get from your old behavior. You're going to get that old fruit back, and you're going to go, oh yeah, I don't want this anymore. I remember what this tastes like. And then you're going to get back on the wagon with whatever change it is you're making to your character so that you can move forward in a more productive, more happy, keyword, way. Okay, so that's your Wednesday, Taurus. So the next day that we're looking at is going to be Thursday. And what we have on Thursday is the sun. The sun is good. Looks like you're back on track with working on your character. But by the time Thursday comes around, that little slip, that little nudge that you got when you made that little slip really has motivated you to get back on the wagon with the change you're making to your character. And you're starting to feel more empowered and more encouraged. And you're starting to really get that sense of yourself and how strong you really are. And really notice your forward progress and go, wow, this isn't so bad. I'm kind of liking my results here. So good for you. I'm glad that was a short-term little slip there. Now, Taurus, on Friday, 5 of clubs in reverse. Yum, yum. 5 of clubs in reverse is really talking about some kind of competitive situation. So on Friday, I do see some kind of competitive situation coming up for you. And as you're dealing with this competition, typically when you're in a competitive situation, the whole point of it is not really so much to show somebody else that you're better than them, or for somebody to show you they're better than you, either way. Really, the whole point of a competitive situation, if you really think about it, is iron sharpens iron. It's to make yourself better. It's motivation to do better than you would normally do because you have this competition. You're kind of comparing yourself to somebody else. But in the long run, what it is you really want to make yourself better. So you want to, when you're done with this competition, you want to be able to look back and go, here I was at the beginning, here I am at the end. I have improved in whatever skills, okay? The thing about this competition on Friday is not set up in that kind of healthy way. This competition on Friday is one of those things that really, it just kind of tears you down, no matter if you come out on top or not. So you want to be very aware on Friday of any type of competitive situation that you're getting into. And if it's a healthy, productive competitive situation, in other words, one where you're going to come out a better person at the end of it, or with new skills at the end of it, or if this is a competitive situation that is set up in an unhealthy way and structured so that it really is not productive for anybody involved. And try to, as you're aware, try to limit your involvement with the unhealthy ones. Okay, so Saturday, we have the Hierophant in reverse. So this is just telling me that on Saturday you are really thinking outside the box. There's going to be something come up that you have a choice about how you want to handle it. And one of your choices is that you can handle it in the old traditional way, the way that you've always handled it. However, I feel like what you're going to decide is the way you've always handled it is not getting you the results that you want anymore. And so it's time to make a change. One of the things that we say in Al-Anon, and yes, I go to Al-Anon, is if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so we know that if we want to keep a pattern going, we can just keep everything status quo. Now, if we want to change the outcome of something, if we want to have the better outcome of something, then we might have to change something along that chain that leads to that better outcome. And if we change something along in that chain, then something else is bound to change because it's going to be influencing things. So this is what I see coming up for you Saturday, is that there's something that you really don't like the way you've been getting the outcome with your normal, usual status quo. And so you're going to be changing how you handle that and looking at that in a new creative way and coming at that in a more creative, thinking outside the box way so that you can get some consequences that you're actually happy with in this situation. All right, so Taurus, on Sunday, we have the Magician coming up for you. Now, this is a really nice card. This just tells me that on Sunday, what you've got going on is you are being very resourceful. You have everything at your fingertips to have everything that you want. So you can take what you have at hand and make it into what you want and need on Sunday. And Sunday, I see you as being very skillful at that. Okay? So Taurus, that is your week. For those of you who would like to schedule a private session with me, I would like it if you would first make sure I'm the best reader for you. You can check me out at amista.info. That's amista.info, I-N-F-O. you want to feel a connection with the reader before you choose him or her. So check me out there, find out a little bit more about me. If you decide I am the best reader for you, go ahead and contact me. And then once you do, we will schedule your reading as quickly as possible. For the rest of you, I will see you next week. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.